Edition 3 of Entrepreneur's Journal. Week commencing the 2nd of the 3rd, 2026. Some weeks you feel like you're driving the business. Other weeks it feels like you're just holding the steering wheel while the road throws everything at you. This was one of those weeks. The weight of entrepreneurship. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. You have to think about absolutely everything. Cash flow, profit and loss, marketing, sales, stock, team problems, leadership, systems, opportunities, investments. One minute you're negotiating with a supplier, the next you're reviewing stock levels. Then you're coaching someone on the team. Then you're analysing a property deal. Then you're dealing with a tax. It never really switches off. At the end of the day, every decision lands on one desk, yours. Most people outside the business don't see that side of it. They see the company, they see the progress, they see the success. They rarely see the pressure, because entrepreneurship means living with risk every single day. One week you feel like everything is working, then the next week sales dip. Costs rise, cash flow tightens, and suddenly you're solving an entirely different problem. When you first start out, you might worry about paying a £2,000 tax bill. Years later, the same stress might be £100,000. The wage bill grows, the stock bill grows, the responsibilities grow. The problems don't disappear. You just become stronger at dealing with them. It's like a muscle. The more problems you solve, the bigger the problems you become capable of solving. That's the entrepreneur's life. And if someone wants to completely switch off at 5 p.m. and forget about work until Monday, running a business probably isn't that path. Auction day. Thursday was a proper cave day. Head down, no distractions. I was watching the auction for the property at Bolver Green. I had already done all the work. Purchase price, stamp duty, auction fees, refurb costs, exit value, everything calculated. Then the auction went live. For most of the morning, nothing really happened. Then in the last 30 minutes, the bidding started climbing. A couple of thousand, then another, then another. I bid, they bid, I bid again. Auctions are interesting because emotion creeps in. You feel like you're close. You feel like you're about to win. But investors have to stay rational. I reached the number I was comfortable with. Then came the temptation, just one more cheeky bid. But I stopped, because emotional bidding turns investors into gamblers. The person bidding against me may have been buying a home. Their emotional value could be completely different to my investment value. So I pulled back, and honestly, when the auction finished, I felt relieved, because the rules stay the same. If the numbers stop working, you stop bidding. There will always be another deal. Straight into another auction. While another auction finished, another auction was opening in another tab. Vehicle auctions. We were targeting stock for the yards. The bidding started climbing again. Higher, higher, higher. Way past where the numbers made sense. It went for serious money. So Thursday ended up with a lot of intense bidding and zero purchases. But in that investing, discipline matters more than winning. The reality of tax. As this week came to an end, another reality arrived, a very large VAT bill. And writing a payment never feels good. Sometimes it feels like entrepreneurs are trying to grow a business, employ people, invest in stock and contribute to the economy, while the government is standing with its foot on your chest asking for more. I'm not against paying tax. Businesses should contribute. But the pressure right now is real. Rising taxes, rising wages, rising operation costs, and very little margin for error. Many business owners feel like they're trying to grow companies while being slowly suffocated by regulation and tax. You take that risk. You employ people, you invest money back into the economy, yet sometimes it feels like the system punishes the very people that are trying to build things. If the public behave this way, that governments sometimes do, constantly demanding more and more from people already under pressure, they'd probably be arrested. But that's the environment we live in. And despite that, entrepreneurs keep going because building something matters. And when the environment becomes tougher, it forces entrepreneurs to become tougher too. I always think about the quote, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men. Right now, running a business requires strength. Flow. One of the best conversations this week came from Jake Rigby. Jake is obsessed with one word, flow. In the yard, he constantly protected operational flow. Vehicle dismantled, parts cleaned, parts photographed, stock processed, items stored. If the flow breaks, everything slows down. But Jake said something interesting this week. He realised he needs to protect his own flow too. So he started getting up early and walking to work, getting the blood flowing, clearing his mind. He said it made him more positive, more energetic and more focused during the day, and he's absolutely right. Some of my best thinking happens when I'm away from the business. Early morning runs, gym sessions, long walks. When the mind has space, flow matters everywhere. In your body, in your mind, in your business. Even money needs flow. Money sitting still never grows. It stagnates like water trapped in a pond. But when money flows like a river, it creates momentum, energy and opportunity. In our businesses, the flow looks like this. Money, stock, process, sales, profit, reinvest. Break the flow anywhere and the business slows down. Protect the flow, because if it flows, it grows. Book recommendation. In this week's book recommendation, The Ride of a Lifetime by Robert Iger. Robert Iger rose through the ranks to become CEO of Disney and led the company through some of its most transformational acquisitions, including Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilms. 3 lessons stood out to me. Integrity compounds. Reputation and trust take years to build and seconds to destroy. Long-term success is built on doing the right thing even when it's inconvenient. Leaders must decide. Leaders rarely have perfect information, but waiting too long is often the biggest mistake. Progress comes from making decisions and adjusting. Protect great teams. When Disney acquired Pixar and Marvel, Robert didn't try to control them. He protected their culture. Great teams thrive with great leaders trust them. One mistake I nearly made this week. At the property auction, I nearly let emotion push me past my investment limit. When you're bidding and you're close, it's easy to think just one more bid. That's exactly how investors lose money. The rules stayed the same. If the numbers stop working, you stop bidding. Walking away from a deal can sometimes be the best decision you will make. Business takeaways. 3 lessons stood out to me this week. Discipline beats emotion when investing. Protect flow in your health, your thinking and your business. The bigger the business grows, the bigger the problems become, but so does your ability to handle them. Entrepreneurship isn't an easy path, but for people wired this way, it's the only path. Thank you, Tom.